The truth is, you can't level up without a growth mindset. Number one, stop hanging around bums. And no, I don't care if it's a friendship or relationship. You should get a visceral reaction from hanging around such people. Yes, I said it. And no, it's not about low income, it's just about character, mindset. Number two, I'm really gonna need you to stop talking negatively to yourself. Even if you think it, don't say it. Because remember, there's power in the tongue. Number three, build a community of people with a growth mindset. That's basically the people that you hang around. If you haven't already, be sure to vet the mindset of the people around you. Number four, results are really going to build your mindset. And I really feel like this is something that no one talks about. And it's more than just being positive. You actually need results. You need a track record. A key reason that I'm more confident now than what I was at 23 is because I've built up a track record. And that's something that I can't gaslight myself about. Proof works. Number five, your environment needs to be primed for growth. And I want you to interpret that any way that you see fit. It may be where you live, it may be the house that you're in, it may be the friends that you're around. Whatever it is, make sure your environment is primed for growth. This is going to be the way to program your behavior. Number six, it really just starts with intention. I want you to make a promise to yourself. A promise to not fuck up, a promise to not get into that toxic relationship, and a promise not to build bad habits. Number seven, therapy. If you think that you don't need it, you probably do. Number eight, read books and listen to podcasts that are going to help you to shift into that growth mindset. And that's all.
This is your sign to start doing stuff after work. Life is about way more than just going to work, going home, watching TV, doing chores, on and on and on. If you work a typical 9-to-5 office job and you don't have kids, you should be doing something after work, especially now that it's summer. Like, the weather is beautiful. I feel like I have so much more energy now because the sun's back out. Like, I don't want to just go home and curl up on my couch and be a little hermit. Get outside, go do something after work. Right now I'm gonna go to a yoga class, and even if you don't feel like it, just force yourself to do it. Just do it. You will feel so much better afterwards, and I cannot tell you, like, even though I do not want to go right now, I know that I will not regret going. You're young, you're beautiful, so get out, live your life, and don't let working an office job ruin your sparkle or take that away, because you have way more to offer the world. So go fulfill those hobbies, go do those things, go do what you've always wanted to do, and do stuff after work.
Crazy how I had gotten this idea in my head that apparently I wasn't doing what every 20-something-year-old should be doing. Honestly, I just got into a bad habit of constantly comparing myself. The fact that I didn't get to graduate from college, I don't have my dream job yet, I still live with my parents, I'm not married yet, and overall, just the way I'm living my life. And that's when I reminded myself, we are all going through our own journey, and at our own pace. I will get to where I need to be at my own time, but for now, it's just a matter of me trusting the process, putting in the work, putting in the effort, and I know I will get there.
I am such a huge believer in the idea that the way that you spend your morning will set the entire tone for the rest of your day. And if I personally don't start my day with some movement and some mindfulness, I will just have a bit of a crappy day. So figure out what makes you tick and makes you feel incredible, and start dedicating time to that in the mornings. It is your day. Choose to have a great one.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but how can you be behind in your life if your life is only yours? You're only behind in your life if you're comparing yourself to other people. And why would you compare yourself to other people if their life is completely different to yours? Are you behind in yourself? Where's yourself going? You're yourself. You're not behind. You're just living your life how you want to live it. I think we all just need to stop caring about what other people think, what other people are doing. Just focus on yourself. You're doing you, and you're doing it amazingly. Cut yourself some slack. I think we all need to. I need to. We just need to love ourselves a bit more, because we're in this for life with ourselves the most, and that's the most important relationship. Love you. Bye.
The reason why a lot of people won't become who they want is because they're too attached to who they've been. And you hear it all the time when people say, I've always been this way. Okay, well, if that's working for you, keep doing that. I knew it wasn't working for me any longer.
I read a quote once that said, you can wake up early, drink your water, take your vitamins, go to the gym, eat healthy, but until you figure out what's in your head and in your heart, you're not healthy.
I found myself the other month on my phone, on TikTok, scrolling. I'm by myself. There's a beautiful sunset at my new house, and I'm scrolling on TikTok. And I, for a minute, had this moment of like, hold on. I'm watching a random girl in her bedroom doing whatever she's doing, and I don't know her, and I'm sitting on my couch, lovely woman, whoever she is, wasting my time watching someone that I don't know, and this is not changing my life. Go outside, Alex. Go watch the sunset. Go take my dog on a walk. Be present, because it gives me anxiety, I realize, when I don't feel good enough, I don't feel pretty enough, I don't feel like I'm fitting the body standard, and then I start to spiral, and it's like, why are we doing this to ourselves?
Hi, I'm Grace, a 25-year-old getting my shit together in my 20s with a 1-year experiment. The premise of the experiment is to spend 365 days making as many decisions as possible based on what your higher self would do. Some of the biggest and most unexpected things have happened in the last month or so here's an update. I asked myself how the most successful version of me would take care of myself, and I realized that I really wasn't living up to that. The most successful version of me would treat my body and mind like my most valuable asset, not an afterthought that she only maintains when it's convenient. I realized that my closet was full of clothes I didn't love or that made me feel insecure, so I cleaned it out, got rid of a ton of stuff, got a color analysis done, and now I'm rebuilding my closet to be full of pieces that I love and that truly make me feel confident. I went back to my natural hair color, booked the expensive dermatologist appointment I had been avoiding, started eating better, and got back into the gym, even though the gym makes me a little bit anxious. I asked myself how the most successful version of me would spend her time, and my answer caused me to delete dating apps. While I'm an optimistic single woman who doesn't go into dating with a negative mindset that I'll never find what I'm looking for, the reality was I kept meeting and going on dates with people who were less than impressive, and that isn't a valuable use of my time. My time and energy are both limited and sacred, so I decided to delete dating apps for now and focus both of those resources back in on myself. The last thing I truly had to reframe for myself was taking time off. I was asked to go on a 10-day vacation to Aruba with a friend's family, and my first thought was about how much work I would miss. But when I stepped back and thought for a second how my higher self would handle this, I knew damn well she would go on that trip, turn her laptop off, and trust that the money is going to make its way to her no matter what. Framing all of my decisions around what I think my higher self would do has truly been so valuable and has helped me achieve a lot of the goals I have for this year much faster. If you want to see how the rest of the experiment goes, follow along as I plan to document the entire journey.
You don't even realize how long 2 hours is, because you normally spend those 2 hours scrolling. In the space of 2 hours, you can get a train to your nearest city and just become a tourist in it and explore and go shopping and sit in a new cafe. In the space of these 2 hours, you could bake a dessert, you could sit down and watch a new episode of a new show. In the space of 2 hours, you could go online, learn the 11 steps to creating a business, start your website, design it, and get the domain in under 2 hours. So doesn't the thought of scrolling just kind of gross you out right now?
This is to the 19, 20, 21, 22, whatever, that age range-ish area. If you are spending these years of your life working on yourself, working on your fitness goals, your investments, your financial situation, your career, your relationship with God or whatever higher power you believe in, if you're improving yourself in those ways, if you're journaling and walking and working out and meal prepping and studying and doing all of these things and working and saving and doing all these things that better yourself, I want you to know that I'm proud of you. And I know that so many people flip it as, you never get these years back, like party them away, like have so much fun, like, but you also never get these years back, so build yourself to the person that you want to be. And even if you feel like the work that you're doing isn't coming through and you're not getting the success, there's so many bugs right now, that you want, I promise you it will come. Stick with it, stay strong. I'm so proud of you, and the rest of your life you will thank yourself. I promise you. And you will have these habits where people that didn't are gonna have to completely learn them. And you're setting yourself up for a successful future and a life that's honestly way, like, in my opinion, this is the way I like to live. But don't get me wrong, you can have your fun here and there, but spending that time, these extra hours that you spend during the weekend while people are out, they're gonna add up. And I promise you, when we're older, it will show through who was staying in on their weekends and who was going out.
I'm tired of being tired, and that worrying is doing nothing except for making me lose sleep. I want to be in love with the life that I'm living, because if I'm not, how can I expect to be surrounded by the good stuff? So while my circumstances may have to stay the same, I'm working to change my mindset a little bit every day.
Things I wish I knew in my 20s as a 30-year-old. It's better to look oily than to look dry. The sooner you can outgrow the thrill of doing things you know you're not supposed to do, the sooner you'll be consistently happy. If you're having to force anything, really push it to make it a thing, it's not for you, baby. And when something isn't for you, that means something else is, and it's just making room. Stop obsessing over what you look like. I promise you, you're the only one that's thinking this much about this topic. If you're considering dating someone and they can't give you everything that you want, not liking going out to the club is a perfectly normal thing. And if you're getting indications that you don't want to be up in the club on a Friday night, don't go. You will outgrow people. That's just the way it goes. And that's okay. Doesn't mean you can't still be friends. You just might not spend all that time together. I promise you, you're gonna find friends that like doing the same things that you do. Anytime you're getting worked up about anything, doesn't matter what it is, take a deep breath and consider how much it actually matters to you. Practice communicating how you feel about things rather than just reacting. Stop waiting for the next right thing to happen in order to go for your dreams. You are the next right thing when it comes to your dreams. So just go for it. If something feels wrong about that man, he's not right. And lastly, wear what you want. Bye.
Do yourself a favor and just zoom out. Just for a second, just zoom out. Zoom out of your life. Just take yourself out and realize you don't know what you don't know. And like, sometimes the most magical things happen in the waiting. Sometimes the most magical things happen in the suspension. Isn't that just like so funny? There's so much like coming for you, but not in a scary way. There's so much coming in. Like, you just have to be open and allow it and trust the fucking process. Like, that's why there's a process. And your life could change today or tomorrow or next week or the week after. So just fucking enjoy where you are and know that it is just a very small part of your journey. Like, there's so much coming. Like, there's so much for you that is going to come in. Like, you just have to really trust and believe that. And if you are sitting in a place of pain and it sucks and it hurts, that pain is only there for a small period of time. It goes away. It really does. It goes away. I know you're scared that it won't go away, but it will. And it will go away quicker if you trust in the process of it being there and knowing that it will leave. We kind of lock ourselves into the pain by assuming that it will just stay and that we'll never be rid of it. It just perpetuates it. So just know that you are where you are, and that is right where you're supposed to be, babe. Like, you'll get it figured out. I've really learned to trust this because I just feel like the universe will deliver anything I need at the time that I need it. And the more that I started to trust this and look back on my life, I'm like, oh, okay, like that happened perfectly. That was divine timing. So trust in that divine timing. Like, you might not want to wait for the thing that you are waiting for, but you're supposed to. It's giving you enough time to be able to breathe and get ready for it. Think of the moments where nothing is happening as preparation for when the shit does happen. You know it's coming in. You already ordered your meal. You're not going to ask the waiter every 5 seconds, like, when it's coming. No. You're going to sit there, enjoy your chat with your friends and whoever you're eating dinner with. You're going to sip your wine and you're going to know that your meal is coming. It will arrive. It will arrive. Trust the process. Trust the divine nature, the divine timing of things. Know that you only have so much control. It's all going to be all right. It really is all going to be okay.
Unfuck my life with me. I woke up at 4:30, finished making my bed, and saw the cutest ducks crossing the street. As I was answering emails, I thought about the quote, you need to make your 9-year-old and your 90-year-old self proud. I don't know if I'm doing that. Once you get in the habit and productive, what's left? I found the answer today. It's self-awareness. Checking in on yourself. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you really committing yourself to what's important? Keeping yourself accountable when that's a no, and celebrating when it's a yes. Doing maintenance on yourself, like going to the gym, eating healthy, but make time for your career, your goals. You shouldn't feel fine. You should feel amazing. Try your best to enjoy this life because you deserve it. They were playing SZA and I was vibing out. I ended the day with doing some chores. Baby steps are good and all, but I'm ready to make big moves. And I know you are too. Intentional days create a life of purpose.
Okay, I'm 29 and here are 5 things I wish I did earlier in my 20s. Starting off strong, the very first thing I wish I did was drink less alcohol. I spent so much of my youth wasting time by being so wasted. And by no means am I saying to not drink alcohol, it's your life, so do you, obviously, but I think it's important to reflect on your relationship with alcohol. If you're drinking every night of the week, if you're binge drinking, if you're blacking out all the time, or if you're just abusing substances in general, then there's probably something going on internally that you need to address, and you're using alcohol and substances as a coping mechanism to avoid what's going on internally. But the sooner that you turn inwards and heal whatever is going on internally, the better off you're going to be and the better your life is going to be. The second thing I wish I did was be more mindful about sun exposure. I used to lay out with the intention to get absolutely fried because I just wanted to be tan, and now I just have sunspots all over my body, so I definitely regret that one. So be mindful of sun exposure and take care of your skin health because your future self is going to thank you. The third thing I wish I did, and this is a big one, I wish I learned to love myself sooner. I spent so many fucking years never thinking I was good enough, hating myself, judging myself, criticizing myself, never accepting myself, never feeling I was pretty enough, and it led to a lot of anger that I projected out onto every relationship that I had, whether it was romantic or platonic. And on top of all the anger, I also experienced so much depression, anxiety, guilt, shame, etc. And I only wish that I nurtured the relationship I had with myself sooner, because ultimately the only fucking relationship that matters in life is the relationship you have with yourself. The fourth thing I wish I did earlier in my 20s and just earlier in life was learn to trust my gut. I spent way too much fucking time following other people rather than following my own intuition, and I ended up going down the wrong paths with the wrong people, doing the wrong things in the wrong jobs, etc. And it just led to a lot of feelings of unhappiness. And I told myself time after time that I wasn't intuitive, when in reality I'm actually very fucking intuitive. I just wasn't listening to my intuition or trusting my gut because of this fear of change. I was too busy clinging on to the things that I was familiar with and the things that I'd known, rather than take the leap out into the unknown and trust myself and trust my intuition and trust in divine guidance. And the fifth and final thing that I wish I did earlier in my 20s was to stop using perfectionism as a mask for my insecurities. Perfectionism just isn't real. It's a mask that we put over our insecurities. It's just our ego trying to protect us from being judged, criticized, rejected, etc. And I spent way too many years listening to that voice inside my head telling me I wasn't good enough and that my work wasn't good enough, when I should have been listening to the voice inside my head that was empowering me and telling me I am good enough, exactly as I am, and my work is good enough, and that I am worthy. And so are you, exactly as you are.
The hard thing they don't tell you about this healing girl journey is that no matter how much you heal, no matter how much of a good person you're trying to be, you are still a psycho. Somewhere in there.